So the new fad is how to get rich in 20 easy steps, right? Or how to get rich, period. And everyone's selling you this idea that you need to be rich. You need to be rich. You must be rich. This is the only thing that matters, right? And there's all these great arguments for it, and a lot of the arguments are perfectly logical, and I've got nothing against the arguments. I just don't. There's nothing wrong with the arguments, right? Being rich is, forget about being rich. Having enough money, being financially self-sustainable is very, very, very important for a lot of reasons. For your confidence, for your self-esteem, for your ability to help your community, for the ability to manifest your own dreams and manifest the dreams of your friends and family, to make sure everyone's taken care of, to make sure no one is struggling, including yourself, to never be owned by somebody else, to never give your time to somebody else for a living, so you can live life on your own terms. It's very, very important to figure financial self-independence up, right? It's very important, and a lot of people are saying, stop, don't be broke. And of course, the message is very, very true. Don't be broke. Why are you broke? If you're broke, it's because you're either not responsible because you're not working, or you're disabled, or there's something going on there, which is a different issue. I'm not going to go into that today. That's another issue to be left at your own discretion. But if you're a healthy person, a normal, well-adjusted, healthy person, there's no reason why you should be broke, right? You should be responsible. You should be working in a career that somewhat involves your personal sense of self and your meaning, so you can derive some positive usefulness out of it, and a nice little hierarchy or a value structure, or I want to use the word dominance hierarchy, but it stirs up weird emotions, that word. So I want to go more with the word of, it provides you with a good structure to advance in, a nice little ladder, yeah, and there's a nice little bonus of a salary that goes along with it. This is normal. This is what everybody else does. This is what you do. This is what everybody else does. All right. Now you do have these eccentricity. What's the word? You have these eccentric types, such as Andrew Tate, and virtually every other YouTube guru out there who's trying to sell you, be rich, be rich, be rich. You're broke. This is why girls don't like you. This is why no one likes you. This is why you don't like you. This is why your mom doesn't like you. This is why your dad doesn't like you. This is why your dog hates you. Right? It gets a bit old, man. There's no simple, clear-cut answer to your problems. Okay, being broke's one of them, maybe, but that's not going to solve all your problems, and that's no excuse to either go along the argument of, okay, I need to be rich. You don't need to be rich. Look, there are some hyper ambitious people out there, super ambitious, okay, who are like, I want $1 billion, and I'm not going to fucking rest until I get it. Are you one of those people? Are you one of those people? Now, you can make two arguments there, right? You could say, well, I've not actually contemplated myself enough to know if that's what I really want, so maybe I'm going to go do that. I'm going to take 3 months off and go to China, or 3 months off and go to Thailand and figure myself out a little bit. Okay, do that. Maybe you need to do that, but I don't think 99% of the population is like that. And no, becoming rich is not going to solve your life problems. If you suck with girls, bro, you're still going to suck with girls when you've got money. You're just going to be a rich loser now. And that's worse. I'd rather be a broke loser than be a rich loser, in my opinion. All right, if people don't like you, it's not because you're broke, bro. I've been broke, and I've still managed to attract girls, and I've still managed to make friends. And I didn't have money when I was traveling. I was in Asia for a few months, and I made so many friends, and I was super broke, right? Like, I was literally looking at my bank account every day. I was like, oh God. But I didn't let it bother me too much, because I was like, well, money's going to come. I'm going to make money somehow. I'm always going to have enough to get by. I'm never going to be completely broke. There's never going to be zero in my bank account to the point where I can't buy anything. There's always going to be at least $4 in my account. It's never going to go less than $4. And that'll be enough for me to get somewhere with it, right? It's not a good mentality to have. I'm not saying it is, and I'm not saying you should adopt it. But I'm saying I never let my financial situation burden me and stop me from living life. Because that's the most important thing, living life. Let's get realistic here for a second. You're here on this earth for 70 years, if you're lucky, maybe 60 if you live an unhealthy lifestyle, maybe 80 if you live a healthy one. Your bulk of the life experience is going to be your memories of the people you met, the lives you touched, the lives that touched you, the stories that you exchanged, the things that you did. the highs, the lows, the loves, the breakups, the fights, the resolutions, the fears, the doubts, and ultimately the wins. Yeah. And the most important thing for you is going to be your family, it's going to be your relationships, and it's going to be the people that came with you along the way. I don't know what else to say, man. Like, that's the most important thing. And these gurus are trying to sell you that you should be this rich alpha male. And it's like, that's number one, not gonna solve your life problems, bro. Like, again, if you suck with fucking people, if you suck with girls or you suck with people, maybe you need to socialize. Maybe you need to develop some social skills. Get out there and have a bit of empathy for people, right? Easiest solution to having social anxiety, which is bullshit, by the way. It's not bullshit. If you have social anxiety, I sympathize with you. I do. It's not bullshit. It can be crippling if you let it. But the only reason it's there, bro, is because you've not conquered it, right? And that goes for the women as well. Women tend to be a little bit more anxious than men. That's not a sexist statement. It's literally a fact. Go search it up. Right? Women have a nervous system that is more provocative to their hormones, to changing at multiple areas in the day. They have a high and they have a low, man, and it peaks and it lows really fucking rapidly with women. And they have a much more sensitive emotional system as well. Men do as well, but men just have the ability to use logic over that, which helps keep their minds a little bit more calmer and more steady. That doesn't mean they're better, because women are great at many things that men aren't, and men are great at many things that women aren't, right? And we're talking about generalities here, of course. We're not talking about individuals, but nonetheless, anxiety is something that you do have to conquer. You've got to step into it and be like, right, I feel this anxiety, but on the other side of this anxiety is a great life. And the life that I will have, is a life of friendships, of romance, of great experiences and memories and adventures, spontaneous road trips, late talks, right? Deep and meaningful conversations, banter, which is going to make you giggle for years to come. Yeah. And just memories, bro. Like, you don't want to miss out on that. And I think that's the most important thing to do in your 20s. I think the most important thing to do in your 20s is actually to go out into the world. Go get the fuck involved in it. And go and interact with as many people as you can and learn from them, because they'll teach you more things than these gurus will, or these internet fuckers will, man. Like, the internet's not a real place. It's a virtual world. It's a virtual reality. Stop watching my videos, right? Stop watching these other people's videos. Stop having a cult following, because you don't want that. You have so much to give yourself. You have a mind and a brain, and if you just thought about your life just a little bit and not overthinking, not in misery and anxiety, and maybe your brain is in a chaotic place right now and you can't actually think clearly, well, there's two options there. Either do some things in your life to incrementally make it a little bit better, or go to a therapist or a doctor and get on some antidepressants. Not a fucking permanent fix. Not a permanent fix. It's a temporary crutch. So you can just stand up and see the world, as opposed to being on the floor and crawling and thinking that this is your existence for the rest of your life. Yeah? But then think about your life. Reflect. Look at the things you're good at. Look at the things you enjoy. And then ask yourself, if there's one thing that I'd like to do in this world before I die, what would it be? One thing. And is it measurable? Is it somewhat achievable for me? Is it just a little bit challenging? I'll have to do a little bit of work, push myself just a little bit to get there. And incrementally decide and get there, right? But don't listen to these gurus who are like trying to force you to live a dream life, which coincidentally means that they will make a lot of money, because you're an incel beta male loser if you don't buy my course, right? It's pretty pathetic how the marketing works. Pretty pathetic, but it sucks people in because it's designed to be emotionally provocative. And I'm only talking about this because I've been sucked into this, and because I wasn't thinking for myself. I was sucked into it because I wasn't thinking for myself. I wasn't thinking, and I certainly wasn't thinking about people around me. I was just completely obsessed with my own self-obsessed nature, which led me to become incredibly cynical, depressed, and then isolated from others. because they don't understand me. And the only person that does is Andrew Tate or some other guy online, right? That's the only person that can really know me because they've been talking about me this entire time, even though they're just talking about your insecurities or insecurities that they've made up because they've identified you as a market group or identified just in general insecurity as a market group and people who aren't feeling like they're doing well at life. Well, guess what, my friend? There aren't many people who feel that they're doing well in life. Most people are not confident and secure about their life. That's just a harsh fact, right? Most people don't know what the fuck they're doing. And no, there is no rush for you to become the next greatest conqueror of all time. Yes, there were 25-year-olds who achieved much more than us at their age, but they were 1%, bro. They were 1% of the 1%. Now, I'm not saying you're not 1% of the 1%, because I believe you are actually 1% of the 1% to some degree, right? If you're watching this video, you are. And that means your contribution and your achievement is going to be very good and very big in many, many ways if you keep going on the path. Yeah, but are you even on the path? Well, I think you are if you're watching this video. I think you are. Because only certain people would actually watch a video like this. Let's be real about it. But that's besides the point. Stop listening to me. Stop listening to these gurus. Yeah? Because ultimately what you need to do is think for yourself. And I'm asking basically, this whole channel is getting you to think for yourself. I sometimes go on intuitive talks, and that's just because I enjoy doing that. But that's not me telling you what to do. That's just me expressing my observations and me putting together the dots. And they may be wrong. They're not right. I'm not saying they're right. Hell, if you criticize them, I'll be more grateful for it because I'll learn more. But do the same thing to yourself as well. And do the same thing to these idiots online. You know, if you listen to someone and you feel like, oh, that sounds a bit dodgy, don't just like be like, oh, it's just, that's me, petty old me. No, dig into it a little bit and be like, well, what's going on there? Don't let things run away from you in the dark. Always uncover that stone. You'll be wiser and more stronger if you do that.